Hello students, before we start our chapter, I would like to request you all to watch our introductory 2 videos given by me so that you will be clear about the 3-step strategy to do Dhamaka in physics exams. We have given the videos in the description box, or you can just click on our videos displayed at the end of this video for either introductory 2 videos or the next videos. Okay then, let's enjoy physics by Mr. Patel, who has a long, profound experience of 29 years of teaching physics in Sainik School, Balachadi.
Chapter 5th, Magnetism and Matter. Let us see the little history of the magnetism or magnet. The word magnet is derived from the name of an island in Greece called the Magnesia, where the magnetic ore, that is Fe2O3 and Fe3O4, these are the two ores of iron deposit were found as early as 600 BC. It was first found by shepherd boy or shepherd living on this island. The shepherds grazing their cattle on this island complained that their wooden shoes, which had iron nails at times, stayed stuck to the ground. They were found to be sticking with the ground. The magnetite is a black oxide of iron, that is Fe2O3, and was also called a lodestone, LOD or LOAD also sometimes it is called. The word lodestone means the leading stone, that is, it was showing two properties, directive property and attractive property. Directive properties, correct? When it was suspended freely by a thread, it was showing the geographical north and south direction. Attractive property, when it was found to be attracting iron and the iron mill object. This property is called the attracting property. The Chinese used magnetic needle for navigation 400 BC. Canvas crossing the Gobi Desert also used the magnetic needle. Chinese also used for navigation this, and a Chinese legend narrates the tale of the victory of the Emperor Huan Ti about the 4,000 years ago. His craftsmen, he owned the craftsmen, and these engineers or craftsmen, they built a chariot on which they placed a magnetic figure with arms stretched out. Finger of this statue was showing always the south, and this brought the victory to the emperor. The figure slid around so that the finger of the statue on it always pointed south and north. This chariot, the Yuan-Xing troops were able to attack the enemy from the rear in the thick fog and to defeat them. Now some points regarding the Earth's magnetism. The Earth behaves as a huge magnet was first suggested by William Gilbert in 1600 AD during the Elizabeth II. In his deep book, he has mentioned this thing. The magnetic field of the Earth pointing approximately from geographical south to north, not exactly, approximately, because the geographical axis and magnetic axis of the Earth magnetism, that makes 11.3 degree angle. Number 2, when a bar magnet is freely suspended, it points in the north-south direction. The end which points to the north, geographical north, is called the north pole, and which points to the geographical south is known as south pole. It shows that there will be opposite poles in the north direction of the Earth, that is geographical north direction, there must be a magnetic south pole, and in the south geographical direction there must be a north magnetic pole of the Earth. There are some properties of magnets. The like poles, that is north pole and north pole, or south and south pole, they repel each other, and opposite poles or dissimilar poles, unlike poles, they attract each other. These are the properties. So there are two properties. This is the attractive property of a magnet, and above property is called the directive. When it is suspended freely, it points north and south direction. Next, the magnetic poles always exist in pair, and this is a very important point. Unlike electric charges, magnetic monopole do not exist. In electric charges, we have minus Q charge and plus Q charge. But in the magnets, there are two poles, they exist. You cannot separate these two poles. Even atom itself has two poles, north pole and south pole, due to the motion of electrons. The charge is moving in the atom. That is, magnetic poles always exist in pairs. Unlike electric charges, magnetic monopoles do not exist. We cannot isolate the north or the south pole. We cannot separate the north pole and south pole of the magnet. If a bar magnet is broken into two halves, we get two similar bar magnets, barabar, with somewhat weaker properties, because it has broken into two, so net magnetic moments will be decreased. So the field will become a weaker, but you will get it again two poles. That magnet will have a two poles. We can make artificial magnet. Now natural magnets are rugged in shape and weak in power. So man made artificial magnet. They were strong and good in shape. The name of the magnets were given according to their shapes. There is bar magnets like this. Shape is like a bar. So it is called a bar magnet. It has two poles, north pole and south pole. Magnetic needle, small needle, that is compass needle we call sometimes, is like this shape. The ball ended magnet, that is rod having the two ends, have a ball shape. The horseshoe magnet has a shape according to horseshoe. Correct? Electromagnet, that is, there are many types. Circular, horseshoe shape is shown here, on which the wire is wound. When current is passed in the wire wound over the soft iron horseshoe piece, then it becomes a very strong electromagnet. It is magnetized. The current flowing through this is reverse just like the solenoid. Correct? The artificial magnets are made from the alloys of iron and other suitable materials for permanent magnet. They are alnico, cobalt, steel and inconel. These magnets are stronger in power than that of naturally occurring magnets. So these are very stronger in power. They produce strong magnetic field than that of a natural magnet. Now the earth magnetism. We have already seen that the earth behaves as a huge magnet. It is believed that there is a magnet in the interior of the earth. Its behavior is like that. Correct? A freely suspended bar magnet orients itself roughly along the geographical north and south. If we place the magnet here somewhere, it will point to the north and south. That is, it shows the north and south, that is, there must be a south magnetic pole in the geographical north. This is geographical north. G for geographical, N for direction. S for direction and M is for magnetic pole. Magnetic south pole is situated in the geographical north, but not exactly. They make an angle, this axis, magnetic axis of the earth, and geographical axis, they make angle 11.3 degree. In some books it is given 17 degree, in some books it is given 20 degree. In your book, NCERT book, it is given 11.3. This indicates that there is a magnetic field around the earth. What does it show? When freely suspended magnet points north and south, it makes some oscillation, ultimately it becomes steady pointing north and south. It shows that there is a magnetic field of the earth. This indicates that there is a magnetic field around the earth. The strength of the earth's magnetic field varies, and that varies from place to place. It is around about 0.4 Gauss or 4 into 10 to minus power minus 5 Tesla. Its value is being of the order of 10 to minus 5 Tesla or Weber per meter square. Weber per meter square is called Tesla. Tesla is the name given after the unit of the magnetic field strength, B field, after the name of the scientist Tesla. In India, it is about 0.4 Gauss, that is 4 into 10 to minus 5 Tesla. In Gujarat, it is 0.36 Gauss, that is 3.6 into 10 to minus 5 Tesla. 1 Tesla is equal to 10 to 4 Gauss or Oersted. Oersted is the name of the scientist who invented first that the current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field. Direction of which is given by Fleming's, that is right hand grip rule or Ampere swimming rule or corkscrew rule. There are 3 rules for finding out the direction of the magnetic field produced by current flowing in the wire. 1 Gauss is equal to 10 to minus 4 Tesla. Now detailed charts showing the magnitude and the direction of the earth's magnetic field have been prepared every 30 years and so on. This is a diagram. This is the geographical equator. This is the magnetic equator. Origin of the earth magnetic field. What causes the earth to have a magnetic field is not yet clear. Many theories have been proposed about the cause of earth magnetic field from time to time. The origin of the magnetic field was thought first was arising from the giant bar magnets some few hundred kilometers long buried near the center of and the place approximately along the axis of the earth. That is why it behaves as a earth as a magnet. However, this picture was not correct. This was not accepted at present. At present, there are other theories also. It is a magnetic field of the earth is due to the some rays, cosmic rays and other coming from the outer space. The magnetic field is now thought, at present, it is thought to arise due to the electric currents produced by convective motion of metallic fluids, that is consisting mostly of the iron and the nickel in the interior of the earth. In the outer core, just outer core, that is we call as a mantle of the earth. This is known as the dynamo effect. The magnetic field lines of the earth resembles that of a hypothetical imaginary, that is imaginary magnetite or hypothetical magnetic dipole located at the center of the earth. The axis of the dipole line joining the two poles does not coincide with the axis of the rotation of the earth, which is the line joining the geographical north and south. That is, the two axes, they are not coinciding, but they make an angle about 11.3 degree as we have studied earlier. But it is inclined at an angle of 11.3 degree as per your NCERT book. In some book it is given as a 20 degree and 17 degree also. At present, the magnetic south pole, that is SM, M for magnetic and S for the pole, is located at the points in the northern Canada at the latitude of 70.5 degree north and the longitude of 96 degree west. The magnetic north pole NM, M for magnet and the N for direction, that is magnetic north pole is located diagrammatically opposite to the SM, that is exactly opposite to the south pole, that is situated in the geographical north, that is at the latitude of 70.5 degrees south and a longitude, here is a little difference, 84 degree east in the Antarctica. This point is in the Antarctica. The magnetic poles are nearly about 2 kilometers away from the geographical poles. Now, element of the earth magnetic field. There are three elements of the earth magnetic field by which we can know the earth magnetism and the direction. Angle of declination, that is D, and angle of inclination, that is I. The horizontal components of the earth magnetic field H. The angle of inclination is sometimes called the dip angle. So, generally boys they confuse. So, you make it clear that dip is not the declination, dip is inclination. The declination is D, whereas angle of dip is inclination. The declination D, definition. The angle between the magnetic meridian and geographical meridian at a place is known as the angle of declination. Symbol is D. That is, say, this is a geographical meridian, that is meridian, that is vertical plane passing from the geographical north and south is called the geographical meridian. Magnetic meridian is the vertical plane passing from the magnetic north and south is called the magnetic meridian. Suppose you are having this magnet like a bar magnet, consider this is a book, not a magnet, or you can take a, suppose you have suspended a magnet freely, it will point north and south, correct? Then vertical plane passing from this is called the magnetic meridian. Suppose this is a geographical north and south, then vertical plane passing from the geographical north and south is called the geographical meridian. The angle between two meridians, this is the magnetic meridian, this one is the dotted line shows the geographical meridian. The angle between these two, this is the D, is the angle of declination, correct? The declination D, D for declination, I for inclination, remember like that. Symbol is D. To find the true geographical direction at a place by compass, one must know the angle of declination. If you know the angle of declination, you can find out the real geographical north, geographical direction or south. That place magnetic declination arises because the magnetic axis of the earth does not coincide. This cause of this arising of the declination is the because two axes are not coinciding. Here This is a diagram. Suppose if you suspend the freely the magnetic needle, this topic we will see next lecture. Then it will point in the north and south direction. This is and it will show the direction of the magnetic field at that place. Barabar? So this is the direction of the magnetic field. Say earth magnetic field direction here is BE. B is the earth magnetic stand of the magnetic field, and this is the direction. Correct? This magnetic field at this place, the earth magnetic field BE, that makes the angle I with the horizontal, that is called the inclination angle. I for inclination, D for declination. Correct? If we now if we resolve this B into two components, vertical and the horizontal. Horizontal is HE, in some book it is given BH, and in some book it is vertical component is represented by BV. Here it is ZE. As per your book I have used the symbol. So this is the horizontal component of the BE, Earth's magnetic field, and this is the vertical component of this Earth's magnetic field. From the figure we can see that ZE is equal to BE sin I, and the horizontal component is BE cos I. So this is BE cos I and this is BE sin I. If we take the ratio ZE upon HE, that is BE sin I upon BE cos I, that is tan I, and BE square is equal to, from the Pythagoras theorem we can say, correct, this is equivalent to the ZE, that is HE square plus ZE square is equal to BE square, or BE square is HE square plus ZE square, or B is equal to under root HE square plus ZE square. The value of HE, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, is 0.32 Gauss in northern India. In Gujarat it is about 0.36 Gauss. With the geographical axis, to determine the magnetic declination at a place, set up a compass needle that is free to rotate in a horizontal plane about the vertical axis. The angle D at this needle makes with the geographical north-south NG, that is NGSG, north-south direction, is the magnetic declination D. It is represented by D. By knowing the D, we can determine the vertical plane in which the Earth's magnetic field lies. In India, the value of D is small. It is 0.41 east for Delhi, 0.41 degree east for Delhi, and 0.58, that is 0.58 degree west for the Mumbai. So for Delhi it is 0.41 east, and for Mumbai 0.58 west. Thus, both these places, Delhi and the Mumbai, the magnetic needle shows the true north quite accurately. That is direction we can find. Now, next, angle of inclination or angle of dip, I. I for the inclination. First letter of the inclination word is I. Don't confuse between the declination is not dip, declination is the D, whereas inclination is I. The angle of inclination or dip at a place on the surface of the earth is the angle made by the earth field B with the horizontal. It is different at different places. I is 90 degree at the magnetic poles, that is the magnetic needle stays vertical if we take at the magnetic poles, and I is equal to 0 at magnetic equator. That magnetic equator, the magnetic needle free to move in the horizontal plane, then it remains parallel to the earth. If we have a compass needle, that is dip needle, which is pivoted horizontally, that is on the horizontal axis, so that it is free to rotate in the vertical plane, correct, like this. So this is a horizontal axis, and correct, and magnetic needle can move in a vertical plane, correct. So it will stay vertical at the north pole and the south pole, and it will remain parallel at the equator, that is magnetic equator. That is angle of dip is 0 at equator and 90 at the pole. It is different at different places. I is 90 degree at magnetic poles and I is 0 at the magnetic equator. If we have a compass needle, that is dip needle, which is pivoted horizontally, that is on the horizontal axis, so that it is free to rotate in the vertical plane, coinciding with the magnetic meridian, that is vertical plane passing for the magnetic north south is called magnetic meridian. It orients itself so that its north pole finally points exactly in the direction of the Earth's total magnetic field BE. The angle between the horizontal and the final direction of the dip needle BE gives the angle of dip. The angle of dip is the angle between the resultant intensity of the Earth or the total magnetic field of the Earth or magnetic field of the field intensity BE at the place with the horizontal. At magnetic equator, the dip needle rests horizontally so that the angle of dip is 0. That is correct at magnetic equator. The dip needle rests vertically at the magnetic pole so that the angle of dip is 90 degree at the magnetic equator. At all other places, the angle of dip is between 0 and 90 degree. The magnetization M and the magnetic intensity H. Magnetizing field B0. The magnetic field that exists in the vacuum and induces a magnetism is called the magnetizing field B0. For a solenoid, B0 is equal to mu 0 Ni. When current I is flowing through the solenoid, having the N is the small n is the number of turns of solenoid per unit length, and mu 0 is the constant permeability of free space. So, this field is a magnetizing field. It will magnetize if any core is placed in the solenoid, that is magnetic material is placed or soft iron piece is placed, it will magnetize, it will induce a magnetism, and total magnetism will become more, that is total field is called the magnetic induction B. So, B is equal to B0 magnetizing field B0 plus induced magnetism, that is magnetization Bm. The total magnetic field B inside the magnetic material, that is it is the sum of the external magnetizing field B0 and that is mu 0 Ni is the external field, and the additional magnetic field Bm produced, that is induced due to the magnetizing field due to the magnetization of the material is called the magnetic induction B. So, total magnetic field is called the magnetic induction, and that is equal to B0 plus Bm. It is also defined as the total number of magnetic lines of force crossing per unit area normally through the material. Its SI unit is B is Tesla or Weber per meter square. We know the Weber per meter square is Tesla, or Newton meter minus 1, ampere A minus 1, or joules ampere minus 1, meter minus 2. Magnetization or intensity of magnetization. The magnetic moment developed per unit volume of a material placed in the magnetic field is called the magnetization M, capital M. The magnetic M, the formula is magnetic moment developed per unit volume, that is M upon V. If Im is the surface magnetization current set up in the solenoid of cross sectional area A and having the N turns per unit length, say this is a solenoid, correct, toroid solenoids, then when current is passed, this core, the iron core, the magnetic material which is called, that is iron core, that will be magnetized. How it magnetizes? Because the atomic dipole moment, the dipole moment of atomic loop of this material, that is core, they will align in the same direction, along the direction of the magnetic field due to the solenoid, current passing in the solenoid, that is given by the mu 0 Ni. Due to this field of the solenoid, this material will be magnetized, correct. So, magnetic moments of atomic loop will be aligned in the same direction that of the magnetic field. That will cause the surface current, that is Im, correct. So, Im is the surface magnetization current that is set up in the solenoid. Here also there is a spinning currents produces in the cross section. So, M is equal to magnetic moment developed per unit volume, that is magnetic moment M is the total magnetic moment then upon B. So, Ni M, we know that I into A is the magnetic moment of a loop, we have already studied. Im is the current that is surface magnetization current produced due to the magnetization. So, Im into A is the magnetic moment of a 1 turn. So, if number of turns in the unit length is n, then total will be n Im A, that will be the magnetic moment developed per unit length. So, per unit volume, that is length upon into area, that is volume. So, we can write like this. So, n Im A upon A. So, m is equal to A will be cut. So, n into Im. So, number of turns per unit length into surface magnetization current. So, magnetizing field intensity now H. The field of the solenoid, that is mu 0 Ni, that is magnetizing field. So, what is intensity? The Ni is the intensity. So, H is equal to Ni and B 0 is equal to mu 0 Ni. So, Ni is the intensity of the magnetizing field, which induces the magnetism in the core, magnetic material. So, H is the magnetizing field that induces the magnetism in the core. So, B 0 is equal to mu 0 H. So, B 0 is equal to mu 0 Ni. Remember, this is magnetizing field. This is magnetizing field, but intensity of the magnetizing field. And this is induced magnetism, magnetic moment. We will switch over to that induced magnetic field also from this, that is Bm. If interior of the solenoid is filled with a material with a non-zero magnetization, it is not magnetization first. When current is passed, it magnetizes. The field inside the solenoid will be greater than B0. So, field becomes greater than B0 because it induces the field in this due to the surface magnetization current produced in the piece. So, total induced magnetism due to that is say Bm, then total magnetic field in the solenoid will be B is equal to B0, that is mu 0 Ni plus Bm induced 1. Then Bm is equal to mu 0 Nim. Correct? The net field, total field B is given by the B is equal to magnetizing field B0 plus Bm. Correct? This is a field, not intensity. Intensity is H. This is the magnetizing field, and this is induced magnetic field. The Bm is equal to mu 0 and Im. Correct? And Bm is directly proportional to magnetic moment developed per unit volume, capital M. So, Bm is equal to mu 0 M. Correct? So, whatever field is induced, that will be directly proportional to the magnetic moment because it is related with the magnetic moment. Due to that, field is generated. Substituting the values of B0 and Bm from 1 and 2, B is equal to, in this equation, we substitute the value of B0 and Bm from this 1, this equation is 1, B0 is mu 0 H and Bm is mu 0 M. So, B is equal to B0 plus Bm, and that is equal to B is equal to mu 0, B0 is equal to mu 0 H. H is the intensity of the magnetizing field plus mu 0 M, that is Bm. Therefore, B is equal to total field in the solenoid is equal to mu 0 into bracket H plus M. Correct. Now, again we can write, this is data given in our book, B is equal to B0 plus Bm, that is equal to, we have already seen the mu 0 H plus mu 0 M. Therefore, B is equal to mu 0 common H plus M. If you take the mu 0 this side, B upon divided by B, that B mu 0 this side left side, so B upon mu 0 is equal to H plus M. Therefore, H is equal to M, you take on this side B upon mu 0 minus M. This is another way, that is to represent the H, intensity of the magnetizing field. Magnetic susceptibility is Xi M. It is defined as the ratio of the magnetization M to the magnetizing field. Magnetizing field we know, that is H, field strength, intensity of the magnetizing field H. So, M is equal to Xi into H, or susceptibility, magnetic susceptibility is equal to magnetic moment developed per unit volume upon intensity of the magnetizing field H. Xi is small and negative for diamagnetic substance. Xi is small and positive for paramagnetic substances, and it is more and positive for much more for ferromagnetic, that is, but these materials are not in our course, just for the knowledge. Again for the equation 4 we have B is equal to mu 0 into bracket H plus M. There is mu 0 H plus mu 0 M, but M is equal to, what is M is equal to? Xi M, Xi H. So M is equal to, put this Xi M, that is mu 0 H plus mu 0 Xi H, that is equal to mu 0 H is common, so into bracket 1 plus Xi. The 1 plus Xi is called the mu R, relative permeability of the substance. Therefore, B is equal to net field, total field in the solenoid is equal to mu 0 mu R into H. But B is equal to mu H. B is equal to, or permeability of the medium, that is, you can also define as a B upon H. B upon H, magnetic fields, total magnetic field strength upon magnetizing field intensity, B upon H. So mu R is relative permeability of the substance, and mu R is also equal to mu upon mu 0, that is permeability of the medium upon permeability of a vacuum or free space. Now let us see this hysteresis loop. This loop is not in our course, but that is required for the study of the next topic, that is artificial magnets, man-made magnets, and correct. This is the curve, magnetizing field intensity H against the total magnetic field B, that is induced, total magnetic field inducing it. The curve is like this. You can say if we increase the H, then B increases, the magnetization increases like this. The graph is OA. When you reduce the H, when H becomes 0 at B, point B, this B is the field, this B is the point on the graph. Don't confuse. But it remains some magnetism, residual magnetism, correct? That is called the residual magnetism or reminiscence magnetism or retentivity. What is this? OB is the retentivity or residual magnetism. This much magnetism is remain in the piece, iron piece, which is magnetized by magnetizing field H. Again, when you decrease the H in the negative direction, correct, the graph is, it follows the BC. This is called the corrosivity. OC is the corrosivity. Again, still you reduce in the or increase in the negative direction, minus, that is, it reaches to the D. Then after, if you increase the H, then from minus to take the 0, that is, it follows the graph DE. Again, if you increase positive side, positive H, then it follows the EE. So loop is, it does not retain the same path, but it follows this path. O, A, C, D, E, F, A. This is hysteresis loop, it is called. This is retentivity, and this one OB is retentivity and OC is corrosivity. Remember, O, A, B, C, D, E, F, A is the hysteresis loop.